Hey friends, Tom.
And Sarah.
We have something to tell you guys. We're
in Portugal.
We've been here about a week and a half, and our friends and family that knew we were coming here have been begging for updates. We're sorry for how long it took, but we wanted to get something out so that you all knew what was going on, at least the basics, and we can go from there.
Yep. We wanted to bring you all along with us, but it was so crazy during the last few months trying to get our house sold and everything sold pretty much that we are now wanting to just sweep you along, fast forward, and have you with us now and take you on our journey.
So what happened is that in December, we were praying, really started in October. God was really putting on Sarah's heart pieces of the puzzle. And then in late December, both of us fasting and praying and really going deep. That was actually the video, a link to the video where I got pretty emotional and was talking about we need to make the most of the days that we have. We need to not waste time trying to hang on to things. We need to not waste time trying to hang on to our ideas of what we thought was in our future or what we thought we were even supposed to do. Live life with an open hand and an open schedule and an open willingness in our hearts to do what our Father in heaven tells us to do. When our Savior, our Messiah, returns, He is looking for those who are watching for Him, working for Him, who are not sleeping and slumbering and wallowing in distraction. He is looking for those who are preparing to serve Him in the eternity that awaits. Are you preparing yourself for that time? Are you practicing walking in obedience? Are you willing to let Him use you in all the ways that you know He could use you, but you haven't quite availed yourself to Him in that way? Or you haven't put in the hard work of letting Him accomplish that thing through you? Time is short, my friends. It's not going to be long. While you have breath in you, while your heart is beating, make sure that you're spending every day doing what you're supposed to do. If you have family, especially if you have children, spend your time with your children. The time that you have with them will not be long. So make sure you're focusing on passing on to them what God has you to pass on to them. So it doesn't stop with you.
Don't spend your time chasing things that flee away and that threaten your time with your kids, the training time that God has given you to raise up these souls and to encourage them in his ways and to walk in his steps and to equip them to do that. Focus on what matters right here, right now. And make sure in all you do, be open to changes of plans. Be open to God directing your steps so that he can bless you in ways that you had not dreamed of, not even been aware to think of before. You won't know that those things were within your grasp if you don't open your hands, if you don't walk through the door that he's opening before you. It's going to take courage, and there's going to be some pain along the way, but it's worth it.
That was that day. He really showed us some things and really pressed on our hearts how important this was, and that he really wanted us to do this. So we started the series of videos of how we started in Washington, moved to Idaho, 2 different homesteads in Idaho, then a homestead in Missouri. And we wanted to paint that broader picture and give more of the detail on each of those places and states. We still want to go back and fill in those details, but the closer we got, because God did give us a date to try to be over here by, and as we got closer to that date, we realized that we were running out of time, and we really needed to focus on just getting the work done that needed to get done in order to pull this off. We had to leave off painting the rest of that picture for the time being and just get stuff done.
Let's tell everyone bullet points.
That's a good idea.
That will bring them along.
Basically, in late December when we were praying, and then as has been confirmed time and time again since then, what we were supposed to do is sell our home and most of what we had, get completely out of debt, leave the U.S. and move overseas, starting in Portugal, and try to get to Portugal by late March at the latest, and start focusing on learning and teaching nomadic homesteading. So it's really those 6 things that he really impressed on us, and we've been working our tails off for the last December to now, which is early April, getting those things done or in process.
Yep.
So Sarah, could you tell our friends what is our next step?
Yeah. So our immediate next step is going to be looking for another Airbnb. Mm-hmm. We need to be out of this one that we've been in for the last week and a half on Friday. Mm-hmm. So we need to go there first. And then we're going to be looking at getting a long-term rental here. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we'll see where God leads us.
Yep. We're planning on exploring a lot of this area. We're mainly focusing on inland central Portugal-ish, but that's just from the online research we've done thus far. We haven't been here before, so we're doing a lot of exploring. Yesterday, we had a lovely drive and found a new area that we really love, and so we're just exploring a lot.
Yeah, and an area we didn't like so much.
Yeah.
So it's good to find both.
And part of that is terrain and like the landscape around, the climate, because it's very varied here, depending on what part of Portugal you're in. But we're also, one of the big things we're looking for is community, and that's one of the things that we learned big lessons in our 2 properties in Idaho. We didn't really get plugged into community much until we were leaving a place. We did better with that in Missouri for the 2.5 years we were there. We much more quickly, got plugged into community, found community, and even made community, helped make it. And so we're wanting to do that very much more intentionally here, of connecting with people and mainly around homesteading, homeschooling, and fellowship around God and the Bible. We know that will help. Connecting with those people will help fast forward our research and exploration of this area and kind of where we should try and find a place to live, because we don't know. much
Yeah.
about this place that we haven't been before.
Mm-hmm.
We've already learned a lot. I've been doing all kinds of comparisons already of what's different here versus what's we're used to in the States.
Which he'll be really good at doing. We realized that I grew up overseas.
Yeah.
It was in Asia, so it's very different. But there are a lot of similarities to that, so I don't quite know it as well as he does. But we'll do a video on that later.
Yeah. Part of our reason for wanting to do this video right now was I've already been recording at least short content here in Portugal, but I haven't wanted to release it until you knew we were actually here. So now that you know, expect to see some of the short content coming, little observations I've made, little things I've learned, tricks we've learned about how we're doing laundry now, even, just stuff like that. As well as still stuff from our time in the US. I have literally 7 years worth of recorded video that I haven't been able to edit and upload. So we still have more detail we want to dive into as far as the process of the different states that we've homesteaded in, the things we've learned homesteading raw property, fixer-upper property, and dealing more with livestock and gardening like we did this past where we were in Missouri. So there's still a lot of that content that I'm going to be, working through and getting to you. So you'll see kind of all of it. we're going to try to organize it in a way. What I'd love to do is make some sort of a timeline that we can just put on screen and display, like, in our timeline, we are talking about this point right here. This property, this state, this stage in or season in our, story, so that you can kind of wrap your mind around that and know what we're talking about in the context. That's kind of what we wanted to tell you guys for right now, without making this too long or too detailed or too much for me to edit right now and get quickly to you. So, welcome to Portugal. We're excited to bring you along on the journey, and this is going to be a really fun year to share with you guys.
Yeah.
So, glad you're here. Hit the subscribe button. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening on this channel now, way beyond even what it was before.
Yeah.
So hit that subscribe, ring the bell so you can be notified when we upload new content, and comment below any questions you have. I know that our friends have a lot of questions on what the heck is going on, what we're doing, how we're affording things, and what our plan is, and where we are, and all kinds of stuff. So ask questions below and we'll do our best to answer them.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Ciao.
Ciao.